Alright, so we live.
Okay, hey, shalawam, shalom akim. First off, we like to give all praise to
Yahawah,
bahasham,
bahasham, Yahawashi,
bahasham,
bahasham.
We like to say double honors to the apostles of GMS. We like to say double honors to the Connecticut elders of GMS, our big brothers. We like to say greetings and salutations to the brothers in this country and all over the world who are prophesying in the true name of what you people stupidly call God in Christ. The true name is Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who derives from that lineage on their father's side. And shalom to the ones scattered abroad. Yeah, we're on, doing a show, and the show is entitled the intensity of the intensity of the Most High's miracles, or the intensity of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi's miracles will be seen very soon. All right, so to basically what we're going to be doing is going through miracles in the scriptures, but we really want to hit the point through the Spirit to say or to show through the Spirit that that these miracles, man, they seem like storybook kind of things that people think they believe. People in church, they don't believe, but they don't really believe in the miracles like that, man, because they don't really believe like the Lord bringing people from the dead, because when they get sick, they run into the hospital for a pill. They don't really believe in the name of the Lord and the great miracles, man. But when you believe in the name of the Lord, hey, man, the hopeful elect, which we are, or the elect, we believe totally in each miracle that's in the scriptures, man. Some may be far-fetched, but don't matter. If it's in the scriptures, it's true. It's true. So again, through the Spirit, we want to bring out and show these great miracles in the scriptures from the power of Yahweh to upon the children of Israel, and that showing that not miracles, but the intensity of it. For example, if God forbid, well, not God forbid, but God forbid, like a brother dies, someone real close to you, and the Lord willing, if you're man of the Lord, you're going to be able to bring him back to the Spirit,
Or if a brother has ailments, you'll be able to heal him right there on the spot. That's just some of the blessings and the power that Yahawashi told us that he will give his disciples. We might as well get that first, right? John 14.
Yeah. John 14. Okay.
John 14 and 12?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. This is John 14 and 12. And it reads, it says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also.
Right, and that's a key point. You have to believe in Yahawashi, man. For anybody to think that you can just skip over Yahawashi and go straight to the Most High, you got demons on you, man. And you don't understand the scriptures, man. Okay, because he is the mediator. He has access to the Most High, man. You can't just skip right over the first begotten Son. You can't skip over. Hey, So that's a whole nother show, right?
Yeah, that's a whole nother show. Yeah.
The importance of Yahawashi, right?
Yeah.
But Yahawashi being on the scene is very important, very vital. Okay, so but you have to believe on him, and that's what a lot of the Pharisees they failed at. A lot of our people they failed at. They failed at believing that Yahawashi was the one prophesied going all the way back to Deuteronomy, right? So you can read that again.
This is John 14 and 12, and it reads, it says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me.
He that believeth on me, right? Read on.
The works that I do.
The works that I do, and Yahawashi did a lot of works. It said, I think it's in the end of Matthew or end of John, right?
I got it right here. I'll get it. End of Acts.
End of Acts?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're right. The end of John.
John, right?
It's at the beginning, yeah. End of John. This is St. John, chapter 21, verse 24 to 25. It says, This is the disciple which testifies of these things and wrote these things. And we know that this testimony is true. And by the way, testimony means legal proof, like legal documented proof written down. meaning you can't testify. Testimony means a witness to and a witness to the events. You know, so when you give a testimony, that's facts. You know, that's facts. Okay. So it says again. It says, this is the disciple which testified of these things. See, testified.
And that's John speaking about John, right?
Of these things, and wrote these things.
Right, because he was there. He witnessed everything.
Yeah.
Right, so that's why he's able to testify or give a testimony or give a witness of all the things that he saw being with Yahawashi, right?
And testimony again means something written down as proof.
Yep.
You know, proof. Right? This is the disciple which testifies of these things and wrote these things, and we know that this is testimony. We know that his testimony is true.
Right.
And there are also many other things which Yahawashi did, the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written.
That's bad, man.
To what?
That's bad, man. The Yahawashi performed so many miracles, they can't even fit in a book. That's how many miracles he's done. That means he had the spiritual power from birth, man.
Yeah.
You know? And proof of that, just like we learned from our apostles, being able to extrapolate out of the scriptures, the first miracle he did in public was when he turned the water into wine. Yahawashi's mother, she came to him and said, "Hey, turn this water into wine." Now, why would it? But it says that was the first miracle. But that was just the first public miracle. Why?
Yeah.
Because why would Yahawashi's mother come to him and ask him to do a miracle like that if he didn't show any signs of doing it in the past? Okay, so that was proof. That's being able to extrapolate out of the scriptures and being able to read between the lines, right? To know that Yahawashi, he did many miracles, man. He probably did that at a previous party. He probably did that at the house, you know.
Well, I remember Apostle Gabar. He always explained beautifully through the Spirit, where Apostle Gabar explained, like, look, remember that tape we had when we first got in truth? It was a tape of Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rama breaking down the Holy Spirit. Remember that?
Okay.
And that was one of my favorite ones. Anyway, the Apostle Gabar in the Spirit went through, you know, how, like the brother just phrased, that wasn't the first really miracle he did. That was the first public one. But again, how would the mother Mary know to ask him that? Well, like Apostle Gabar explained through the Spirit, you know, she knew that because she saw it from birth. She knew that she saw Yahawashi do things from when he was a child, you know. So he had the full spiritual power of the Holy Spirit from birth.
Yep.
You know, so imagine all the stuff he did as a baby. You know, when I just imagine him playing in the sand, and all of a sudden you see him playing with sand and levitating sand in his hand or whatever, you know? Controlling the elements, you know what I mean? He was doing special things from birth. And Joseph, Mary, in order to speak of Joseph, I'll just focus on Mary, knew that. That's why that happened. And again, the title is The Intensity of the Most High's Miracles, man. Every time, see, these miracles aren't regular. They're like intense. Like, not physically possible and things like that, you know. It's not, there's no reason, like, how should I say, it's impossible, really.
Yeah, it defines
logic.
It defines science, you know.
Yeah.
It defines anything practical.
Yeah,
Like a chariot. The things they could do, it's
not physically.
Physically, it's impossible. Right? How it can go 3,000 miles
and stop on a dime.
Right, and then stop on a dime and change directions.
Yeah, there's something called G-force too.
Right.
Going at that speed, like, you know, man can't take that speed.
No, not a human body can't. And even in the plane, when it drives and does angles like that, and that's why the air pilots, they wear that air mask.
Yeah.
And there's certain breathing techniques that they have to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, because the G-force, which goes into physics, your body can't, you know, a human body can't take those sharp turns and stuff. So that's proven. So even the fact of a chariot, or what the world calls a UFO, that defies science and logic, right? The same thing with spiritual powers. You're controlling the elements. So we've got plenty of examples here of the prophets, Yahawashi. They raised men from the dead, man. They raised people that were dead, and they rose them back up again. That defies all logic. That defies science. It defies medical,
Medicine and
biology, all that,
all that.
all that. You know.
And a lot of times it's after the third day, because after the third day you know maggots and
Yeah.
everything, you know, so that shows even more.
More,
Like you said, the
yeah,
force.
yeah. See, come, you know.
My brother, I just want to say shalom, brother.
Yeah. Shalom on the common boy. Shalom
I
out
see
there.
Shamar's on here.
Oh,
Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay.
Shamar, what's up, Shamar? Brothers in the common boys. Yeah. So again, as you can see, we could get into these scriptures about miracles because they put a smile on our face, man. But the thing is, the intensity behind it. Like for example, we were talking about the wine. Remember the great miracle about that, where when the Lord did that with the wine. Remember, it was a wedding. And what did the guy say? He said, wow, you saved the best wine for last?
Yeah, normally you bring a good wine first and then the bad wine.
It was the best wine they ever tasted in their life.
Good.
All right? The best wine they ever tasted in their life. And he turned water into wine. You know what I mean? So anyway, we'll get into these and got some? Okay.
It's
Are
John.
we done with John?
Oh,
we
so
done with John?
okay.
Finish John with
It's a lot of time. It says, and there are also many other things which Yahawashi did, the which if they would be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written.
Right, so that's a lot of miracles that were done by Yahawashi. And he said, matter of fact, you go back to John 14 and 12, and matter of fact, just read it.
Okay, so John 14 and 12.
Right.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also.
Yeah, so the works that I do, all the works and the miracles that I did, ye shall do also. But the key point that you have to do is to believe on him. You have to believe
That's
on
right.
Yahawah, bahasham,
Okay.
Yahawashi.
We'll take that.
Right? That was it?
No,
More? Go ahead.
It says, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works.
And greater works, man. So you can just imagine the things, the miracles, the things that we'll be able to do. And we're about to go through, and what Yahawashi did, what the prophets did, they did a lot of they did a lot of works. I believe it was one prophet or a king, he had stopped the sun, man, to continue in battle. I believe it was Elijah.
Yeah,
Elijah,
I forgot about
right?
Elijah that asked
Yeah,
okay.
Boy,
There was a lot of stuff, man.
oh man.
Elijah,
Forgot about that one,
I
man.
got it written down here. I believe it was Elijah that called fire from heaven. Okay, I got it written down here. That's we'll get that, Lord willing. But there's a lot of miracles that all these prophets did, all the men of the Lord did. Why? Because they believed in Yahawah by Yahawashi.
And guess what? They're coming back. That's the point.
Mhm.
These great things are coming back soon, man. Matter of fact, get Psalms 110 real
Yeah,
quick.
matter of fact,
They come back soon. That's the point too. It's beautiful we read these scriptures, man. Put a smile on our face, man. But hey, man, this is coming back, and there's another side to it too. When like the scripture say, when one man takes out a thousand troops, when 10 Israelite men with spiritual power take out 100,000 men. This is written in the scriptures. King David taking out 20,000 men. This is written in the scriptures. King David taking 20,000 men by himself. Samson, 1,000 men with a jawbone of an ass. And so on and so forth. Joshua, he got down too. I think he took out 1,000 men too.
Joshua's getting down.
So there's the great miracles is both sides, doing the great spiritual power, fighting for the Lord, and also the great spiritual power, whatever healing the blind, healing the sick. But anyway, so
Yeah, this is Psalms 110 and 3. It says, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. And it's talking about what, man? It's talking about the time we're coming into now, man. Because you got to understand, when you go into the scripture, it says that the Lord said, I'll give you fame in the land, man. And how's that fame going to happen? Well, let me get a precept real quick to go back to this. This is, I was reading, this is John 6 and 26, and this is what Yahawashi said. Yahawashi answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles,
I was just thinking about that. Okay, go ahead.
but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. But think about what Yahawashi said. Yahawashi came in the scene to show people the miracles so they could know that he was the Son of God, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we're proclaiming, to the world that we are the sons of God. But how's the world going to believe? Just like the apostles say, the elders say, A lot of that, a lot of the 1/3 are gonna be sealed through the miracles that the 144,000 does, man.
I got something for you, right? It's St. John 10:38. I was looking for this one. Got you. This is St. John 10, verse 38. It says, I'm going to start from 34.
Okay.
Yahawashi said unto them, is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods?
And what was Yahawashi talking about? He's talking to the Pharisees and the Sadducees pertaining to Psalms 110 and 3. Okay? No. Psalms 82 and 6.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's good. It says again, Yahawashi answered him and said, is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods? If he called them gods, unto whom the word of the Most High came, and the scripture cannot be broken.
Meaning, what Yahawashi trying to explain to him was like, what's the big deal? Okay, that I'm saying I'm the son of God. Don't you know we're all the sons of God?
That's right.
Okay, but I'm the first of the begotten, man.
That's right.
Okay, and have you not? You're supposed to be the people that are studious, okay, in the law, but you don't know about the Messiah to come.
That's right. Come. It says, if he called them gods, unto whom the word of the Most High came, and the scripture cannot be broken. Say ye of him, whom the Father has sanctified and sent into the world.
Yeah, and he was talking about himself. Okay, and that's why these Pharisees and Sadducees was getting cut and was getting offended because they knew that he was the one, man. But they had so much demons on them, they didn't want to lose their position.
Yeah.
And see, they didn't give a damn about the law.
Yeah.
Okay? And they didn't give a damn about the prophecies, and they didn't give a damn that he was the son of God. I'm not saying all of them, but,
Most of them.
most of them.
They had them riches, Basically today they were like ancient sellouts, basically. But they use the form of religion to do so, or in the form of the scriptures, Anyway, it says, say ye of him whom the Father has sanctified and sent into the world, thou blasphemest, because I said I am the son of Yahawah.
Then he's talking about, and he said the Father sent him to the world. That world's talking about the Israelites, man. Okay, that's what he was talking about. He's basically saying, don't you understand the prophecies? Okay, that has to come to pass for Israel to be delivered and to receive the salvation. All right, I am He.
All right. It says, if I do not the works of my Father, believe me not.
Right.
But if I do, though ye believe not me, believe the works, that ye may know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him.
And that's what people are gonna see again, man. Okay? Yahawashi said, believe me for the works that I do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Yahawashi said, don't even believe what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
it can be hard to believe what a person's saying. But he said, believe me for just the works that I do.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the same thing's gonna happen this time, man. Going back to John 14, 14 and 12. Because Yahawashi said that to the disciples. You gotta realize that the disciples are back here again today. All right, going back to Acts, the first chapter, it said that I'll give you power. Now, the Yahawashi was talking about in the times here, times then, but also the major part, because you got to understand, the Lord boosts up His power compared to the enemies, man. And right now, Esau is the ultimate enemy that this world has ever seen with his technology. So with all this technology, that mind you, that we have no clue about, Esau's not telling about the technology that he has, man.
And we know quite a bit too, man.
And we know quite a bit of stuff about
through the Spirit of the Lord.
Through the Spirit of the Lord. All right, the Lord's has to trump that. So that's why Yahawashi through the Spirit said, listen, you guys are gonna do greater works than me, man, because we're coming to time. Back in them days, they didn't have flying airplanes. Okay, during the time of Yahawashi, they didn't have tanks, missiles, okay, laser guns. All right, and all types of manner of stuff, that they have, man.
Even now, I saw on YouTube a guy made an Iron Man suit, and that's some low-level technician,
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from Mythbusters? No, he did one too. I don't know if that's what
he
he's
did.
talking about. Yeah.
It's a fucking prime time show, make an Iron Man suit with some Circuit City parts. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Even on the low level. So what do they have on the high level, man? They have those Iron Man suits. They have invisible suits.
They do. As a matter of fact, I was gonna say that because I was watching a video, and I said it to him. I ain't gonna say his name, but I seen a video basically where basically there was in the field. These soldiers were in the field. A tank hit a mine, and then there was enemies coming to get the people out the tank. There was a soldier that was running towards the tank, and when the enemy was coming, he camouflaged himself. He literally cloaked himself, man. So this is the technology that they give the soldiers over there. They're not putting on TV, they're not putting on CNN, but they have technology out there that's beyond our understanding.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even see the guy after he cloaked, and then he reappeared on top of the tank, took his soldier out, one of the soldiers out, and they and ran off with him. And to even have that type of strength to just yoke a grown man out of the tank, he had power and he had powers, man. He cloaked himself from the enemy and took out the soldier out the tank, man. All right. So that's what we have to battle against, because we go to Isaiah 59 and 19th chapter. The Lord said the enemy is going to come like a flood. What does that mean? It's coming with everything.
Yeah.
See?
And hey, like we said, back to the title, there's gonna be intense miracles, man. There's gonna be like I'll say it like this: the intensity is gonna be you're feeling from it. That's why we brought Psalms 1 and 10. Read that again. Actually.
No, this is Psalms 110 and 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power.
Yeah, so with that power is what? The day the Yahawashi gives his men, the spiritual power, which we have it already on a low level, understanding scriptures and things like that. But it's going to be, the Lord's going to turn up. He's turning up that spiritual power, man. You know, on the elect men. Okay, and when that day happens, whoever gets it first, you know, however the Lord Yahawashi want to do it, okay. You people are gonna believe with a shot, with just like that, man.
Yeah.
You people are gonna fucking believe just like that. But it's gonna be too late for the most part, because you should have believed the word before the actual things that the Lord's gonna show. But the point is, the feeling from it is gonna be super intense. When you see a man literally flying, physics cannot explain that. When you see a man literally flying at a high top speed and then bringing down an airplane. You may joke and laugh, but this is what's going to happen. Okay? Because at that time, you're not going to be saying, you're going to be, holy shit. The first thing you're saying, damn, you're going to be thinking about a divine power, which is the power of Israel. Ain't going to be no, he took a vitamin juice this morning. Or he took he worked out and, wow, he can, No. It's not physically possible. It's going to be you're going to know it's a divine power, man, that's making this happen.
Yeah, when people see, okay, men, picking up cars, trucks, and just throwing it like they're baseballs, okay, you people gonna understand that there's a power. You see that the Lord is doing this for His name, so you people gonna understand when you see men doing shit like Brightburn, all right, okay, lasers coming out their eyes, picking up stuff, taking people up and breaking them down into elements.
I didn't see the movies.
No, Slakia. All right.
Yeah, that's a good movie to see though. Right?
Yeah,
I gotta see that.
Right now, man.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
You people gonna
comment
believe,
for
man.
dummies.
All right.
Your days, man. Your days, man.
You people really gonna believe, man. And just like the elder said, all right. By the time then, for most people, okay, it's gonna be too late. Cause why? Because remember, Jeremiah 16 and 14, Lord says, 16 and 16, I'll send for many fishes. Well, that's the time for you to believe. All right?
Fishing part.
All right, but the Lord said after they fish them, meaning after the elect has been sealed.
And we right there.
All right? The Lord said He's going to turn them into hunters, man.
Yeah, we're
all right?
You want to get that? I'll get
Yeah,
it.
get it.
It's Jeremiah 16, and we'll move to the narrative. Jeremiah 16, verse 16. It says, behold, I will send for many fishes, says the Lord.
And that's what the Lord's doing. By these videos, we're fishing for the elect. When we go into Howard's advice, we're fishing for the elect. Okay? That's what the apostles and my elders have been doing, all right? And young Akim like me been doing, man. We're fishing for the elect.
And after will I send for many hunters.
So the Lord said, after I will send for many hunters. Well, what is He talking about? The same ones that were fishing, He's going to turn them into hunters, man.
Yeah, hunt means to kill. You hunt down your prey to kill it. And devour it. And it says, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, which are the countries, and from every hill, your smaller countries. And it says, and out of the holes of the rocks.
Oh, man.
The holes of the rocks represents the churches. Start with these fake Israelite churches first. So look, man, hey, it's self-explanatory, man. The Lord's going to show His great miracles soon, because now we know the fishing season is about to be over. World War III is about to break out. Apostle Tahar gave the decree with a few like a month ago or so. No more new members in GMS. That's it. Now and then I did a video yesterday saying the famine of the word started over a year ago, because once we once I believe through my spirit, my understanding through the spirit that once we left 34th Street, 34th and 7th, the famine already kind of started already, because everybody knew. I remember Apostle Tahar always said, I did it too, back in 09, 08, you can Google 34th and 7th, and you'll see it will say GMS Street or something. It would actually literally say that. I don't know if it says that now. It may still say that.
That's how I found you guys.
Yeah, if you put in 34th and 7th in Google, it'll come up GMS corner or something like that, or GM. You're gonna see something by GMS, which proves that we were how should I say? You can find the apostles there. You can find the GMS camp there. Now you can't find them anymore over there, which means people who want to get the word, I know where to go to get. I believe now. All of a sudden we ain't there no more, and we were at an unclosed location for over a year, and now we're in another part right now.
I got something real quick.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
This is Isaiah 40 and 28. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting power Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? Meaning what? There's nothing impossible for the Heavenly Father. See, that's the difference between the believers and the non-believers. Just like this wicked nigga son that said, I'm a non-believer, you a believer. Well, yeah, we're believers, man. Okay, because we understand, with the Heavenly Father, there's nothing impossible for him. It says here, there is no searching of his understanding. Meaning what? Meaning the type of powers that the Lord's going to bestow upon his men. Yahawashi said himself, man. Yahawashi said, you'll do greater works than me. But then the scripture says, you couldn't even fit. If there was to fit all the miracles of Yahawashi in books, none of the books of all the books of the earth can contain, can't contain all the miracles Yahawashi did. Now think about that for a second. How are we going to do greater works than Yahawashi when Yahawashi did so many miracles that none of the books of all the books of the earth can't contain it? Okay, because why? There's no searching of the Heavenly Father's understanding. There's no limit to give the spiritual power, man. Remember the Lord said when He blesses, He's gonna overflow it. He doesn't just like Yahawah said. He said, when you get a drink, there's always a little gap in the top. He said when the Lord bless you, this can be overflowing, man. You see, that's how it's gonna be with the spiritual power. It's not gonna be okay. That's enough spiritual power. The Lord's gonna go above. The Lord's gonna go overboard with it. Okay, it's gonna be overkill, opening up dimensions right in front of your eyes. All right, it says here, He giveth power to the faint. Who's the faint? Well, you go back to Daniel, I think the 7th. I forgot what chapter it was, but it says that that He shall wear out the saints, man. Wear out the saints. Okay, so we're the faint. He giveth power to the faint. That's the men in the houses and byways. All right, that's doing the work of the Lord. And to them that have no might, He increases strength. Now, where's that might? When you go back to Jeremiah, okay, when you go back to Isaiah the 59th chapter in the 14th verse, okay, it talks about what that we make ourselves a prey because of this truth, man. All right, so we're the ones that have no might because we don't have no military power. We're not using any physical weapons. All we have is these scriptures, man. Our faith, man. All right. The Lord said this. He says, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, He increases strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. You know, people throwing up 500 pounds on the bench, squatting 1,500 pounds. Okay, your mighty men. They're all gonna fall when all hell breaks loose, man. Because guess what? They can't fight bullets. Because they not only come after men, they come after all you so-called black Native Americans, man. They want y'all out of here. Okay, you see what's going on over there in London, man. They want all you West Indians, you so-called West Indians, up out of there now, man. All right, where the hell y'all gonna go? You so-called West Indians and Haitians, okay, and that's over there in London. They getting ready to kick y'all out, man. It says, but they that wait upon the Lord, who's waiting upon the Lord? The elect, man. The elect of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi is waiting upon the Lord because they have that faith. And look what the Lord said. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. That's the same thing Yahawashi is saying, man. Yahawashi said more than one time that He's gonna give that we are gonna receive power. It says, they shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And that's talking about spiritual power. It's talking about the miracles that we're doing. That's a miracle right there, man. Because nobody on the earth has seen anybody with their own eyes fly, man, without any type of machinery. Nobody on the earth have ever seen somebody run like the Flash, man. You see? All those are what? Miracles that people going to see before their eyes, and they're going to say what? Oh, wow, these are the men of the Lord. By what? By the miracles and by the powers that the power from on high, Yahawah is his name, all right? Bahasham Yahawashi is going to give upon his men, man. And that was it, man. Come.
Okay. You get Acts 4 and 1. Start from there.
This is
So we're getting to, like, we're getting some miracles now, bring us some miracles. And if you got something too, unless you got something you want to bring up?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I got the Elijah scripture when he called fire.
okay. I get the scripture for you guys.
Okay. Just bring up miracles now. Any miracle story you can bring up.
Okay.
Yeah, ready up.
Acts 4 and what?
4 and 1.
Okay, so ready.
Mm-hmm.
This is Acts 4 and 1. And as they spake unto the people, the priests, and the captain of the temple, and the Sadducees came upon them, being grieved that they taught the people and preached through Yahawashi the resurrection from the dead.
Okay.
And they
I mean, you can say something. You can keep going.
Oh, okay.
You want to say something?
yeah, okay. Because there was Christians. The reason why they wanted them to stop. They wanted the disciples to stop preaching about Yahawashi and the miracles of the dead. It's because why? Yahawashi showed them that everything he was doing wasn't a lie. He was the Son of God. All right. And what? The miracle of the dead is something that's impossible, man. Okay, because a lot of people, you could be healed, all right, from any type of disease or plague, but what? People can say, oh, well, you done that by some type of witchcraft or sorcery. But nobody will say that you done any type of witchcraft or sorcery. You raised somebody from the dead, man. They're gonna say, well, that's from a God, that's from a power. It says, and as they spake unto the people, the priests and the captain of the temples of the Sadducees came upon them. Being grieved, they taught the people and preached through Yahawashi the resurrection from the dead. And they laid hands on them and put them in hold unto the next day, for it was now eventide. Howbeit many of them which heard the word believed, and the number of the men was about 5,000. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
And it came to pass on the morrow that their rulers and elders and scribes and Ananias the high priest, and Caiaphas and John and Alexander and as many as were of the kindred of the high priest were gathered together at Jerusalem. And when they had set them in the midst, they asked, by what power or by what name have ye done this? Then Peter, filled with the Holy Spirit, said unto them, ye rulers of the people and elders of Israel, if we this day be examined of the good deed done to the important man.
You know what? I'm sorry. That is the script, but yeah, the actual. I want to read an account what Peter and Andrew did to that man who couldn't walk. It's actually 3 and 1.
Okay,
That's the 4 and 1. He's answering what they did.
Oh, okay.
So sorry about that. So Acts 3 and 1. You can start. You can
Okay.
start from it looks like.
All right, this is Acts 3 and 1. It says, now Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour.
Mm-hmm.
And a certain man lame from his mother's womb was carried.
Yeah. So it says a certain man lame from the mother's womb was carried. Mm-hmm.
Whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple.
Yeah, so this man was carried to the temple, to the footsteps of the temple, every day. Okay, and it said a certain man lame from his mother's womb. All right, meaning that he was how can you say he was impaired or crippled from birth. He was lame from birth. Okay, which they go into saying he couldn't walk. All right, so one more time, verse 2.
It says, and a certain man lame from his mother's womb was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple. Who seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple asked an alms. And Peter,
Read a little louder.
It says, who seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple asked an alms. And Peter, fastening his eyes upon him with John, said, look on us. And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something of them.
Yeah, so Peter and John, he said, look, Peter said, look at us, you know. So the man looked at them, but he looked at them expecting, oh, okay, they're going to give me some money, some change or something for me, you know. Because that's what he went there for anyway every day. He was carried there because he couldn't walk, right? And he would ask for alms for people going inside the temple. Much like when you go to the store and you see somebody ask for change. You got $1 and you give him 50 cents, you know, something like that. But the difference is, he ain't no crackhead in the ask for change. This man believed in the Lord. He believed in, you know, in the scriptures. He knew who he was, you know, but he was asking for alms.
It says, then Peter said, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee.
Yeah, so it proves to you that he was talking about money. Silver and gold I have none. He wanted some change, you know.
In the name of Yahawashi Hamashiach of Nazareth, rise up and walk.
Yeah, so he said, look, I don't have that, but I got something else for you. Okay? It says, like he says, but such as I have, I give thee. So he had, what did Peter have? He had the belief and the faith of Yahawashi. All right? And so that's what he was given, you know, or the healing of the spiritual power. Okay? So again,
It says, then Peter said, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. In the name of Yahawashi Hamashiach of Nazareth, rise up and walk. And he took him by the right hand and lifted him up, and immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength.
Yeah, so you hear that, you see that what? And you got to play it out like in your head, like a movie, like Apostle Gabar. He is always stressing. When you read the scriptures, you got to literally play it out like a movie. Imagine every single thing. Imagine the emotion. Imagine the man at the steps being carried every day. Imagine Peter and John talking to them and saying what they're saying. You know, the actual actions. And then he said, look, Peter reached out, grabbed his right hand, right? That's a sign too. Right hand, not left, but his right hand stands for righteousness. Okay, that's why when we always salute, we always say shalom, we do it with the right hand. You know, because that's a spiritual thing. Okay, but he said he grabbed him by the right hand, which stands for righteousness, and then read that again. And what happened?
It says, and he
right?
took him by the right hand and lifted him up.
And remember, mind you, this man never walked.
And immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength.
Yeah, immediately. That means right away. His feet and his ankle bones received strength. And then it says, and he leaping up, stood and walked and entered with them into the temple, walking and leaping and praising the Most High. So, you know, that's why these silly dummies at the church jump up and down because of that script. But this man was leaping and jumping because he literally couldn't walk. From birth. Okay? So, imagine that, man, like not walking. And isn't that better than silver and gold?
Yeah, way better.
You know he was happy. He got something way better than, you know, what he asked for. Why? Why did he get it though? Number one, because he believed. He believed in the name of Yahawashi. He believed in the Son of the Heavenly Father. It's the belief that saved him. You know? And we got the belief out there. We got the elect. But then we also got the believers, which are the 1/3, which consists of the friends and the family of the prophets and the people that helped out the prophets through their difficult time on earth here. All right? And also you have the believers make up the crippled, the lame, the people who are impaired, who how to describe it here, who are what does it say? What did it say?
We're going back to what?
How to describe who is lame, okay? You know, so you have those believers too. So you have many miracles that you know, even us in the camp, we believe one brother in the camp, we for sure the Lord's gonna, you know, Lord willing, put spirit on him and give him that power. And other people too, and who believe, you know, who have that faith, they're gonna be healed in that day. And that time is coming. And it's gonna be intense. The intensity of the miracles is gonna be great, man. And that's when you're gonna believe. Because when the Lord does his miracles, it's not average. It's way above average, man. Really, it's damn near impossible. Like we're going, Lord, if we have time, Lord willing, but we have to go to, you know, when the Lord raised up Lazarus from the dead, or raised up people from the dead. We have the scriptures going to that. This is humanly impossible. And like the brother mentioned earlier, you know what? You usually been done after 3 days. It's extra proof that there's no accident, okay? Because somebody's died and waking up 45 minutes later, oh, his heart stopped, like those complications.
Conscious or something.
You know, but you can't make up nothing after 4 days, man.
And
You
can I
know?
say something real quick, Islam?
We'll go, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because the reason why raising up the dead is so important, like I said before, all those other miracles, people can say, oh, he did it by this, oh, we seen other people do that. You know, got churches doing fake videos of people being healed. But when you raise somebody from the dead, man, all right, especially after a certain amount of time, people are gonna know that is from the living power, man.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. You know, that's the whole point with many other great miracles, man. Like this one, I love this story. Again, never walking, and then all of a sudden he's jumping up like Michael Jordan in the church, praising the Most High. All right. So that was any more?
Yeah, because it kind of goes into like the whole reason why you did that. Like, what happened.
Okay, go into it. You can probably explain the faith.
Okay. It says, and all the people saw him walking and praising the Most High. So they saw the lame walking and praising the Most High, right? So mind, these people are Israelites, and they knew that it was he which sat for alms at the beautiful gate of the temple.
Yeah, so they knew it was this man. Because remember, again, this man was always carried to the temple because he couldn't walk. And they knew it was that man. Hey, is this the man who we always have to carry to the temple here? What verse you at? 10?
10, yeah.
Okay, keep going.
And they were filled with wonder and amazement at that which had happened unto him.
Yeah, so they were amazed, man. Wonder and amazement. Wonder means what it means, a great wonder. Matter of fact, I'm going to look that up, wonder. Get the different like etymology of that. Because wonder is a powerful word. You know, they were filled with wonder and amazement. You know? And that's the same thing that's going to happen in these times, man, when the Lord gives his men the spiritual power, okay? And even though these other false camps, man, you know, hey, man, it's hard to put into words, man, but like you said, you're going to be filled with wonder and amazement. You know, we're coming to those times. And it's going to be great, man. It's going to be beautiful, man, because all you non-believers, you scoffers, man, people talking shit, people denying the Bible, that is gonna, the Lord's gonna show you he's the real deal, man. He's gonna show you his name, he's gonna show you his power through his men, ultimately through his son Yahawashi, all right, by the way of the great chariots, all right, of the Heavenly Father, okay, and his men, ultimately again Yahawashi. You have wonder?
Yeah, it says it's Greek 2285. It says to render immovable, amazement. It says be amazed, be astonished with, wonder. It says dumbfounded, to dumbfound.
Yeah, dumbfounded. Like what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Like what? Like you're in shock. You know, you can't explain what you just saw.
Okay.
This is what's gonna happen. That's intense. That's intense. Okay? This is the power of Yahawah Shemashai that he's done throughout the scriptures, man. And he's about to show again. Okay, his great you're gonna be his great power, man. You know? That you can't even fathom. You're gonna be dumbfounded. Uh-huh.
It says stupefaction by surprise, i.e. astonishment, amazed, astonished, wonder.
Kind. Mm-hmm. All right. And
Keep going.
Yeah,
It says, and as the lame man which was healed held Peter and John, all the people ran together unto them in the porch that is called Solomon's greatly wondering.
Okay. Fine. So we'll finish. We'll keep going on that, but that was just an example. You can read the rest of the first chapter to read through that. But we want to get some of these miracles in. So you got
going to get to the next thing.
You got some.
2 Kings 1 verse 10.
Got you. 2 Kings 4.
Matter of fact, you can just start at 1 and it ends at 12. You get the whole story.
Okay. This is 2 Kings.
Matter of fact, you can start at 9.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
This is 2 Kings 1 and 9.
Yeah.
Then the king sent unto him a captain of 50 with his 50. And he went unto him, and behold, he sat on the top of an hill, and he spake unto him, Thou man of God, the king hath said, Come down.
Right, so just to go over it real quick, this is when Elisha was told by the Most High to tell the king of Samaria at the time that you're gonna die, right? Because that king he had went to he had went to his men and told them to inquire of a heathen god, you know. it says here, but Elzebub. So basically, he went to another heathen god and said, "Yo, I'm feeling sick. Go and pray to Beelzebub and see what's wrong with me." So the Most High told Elijah, tell him he's gonna die for doing that, pretty much. So then when the king was told that, it was like, "Yo, Elijah the prophet said that you're gonna die for going to be Beelzebub instead of the Most High." So the king said, "All right, I'm gonna go get my army and go see him," pretty much. So that's that's where it now. So you can read that again.
Yeah, it says, 2 Kings 1 and 9.
Right.
Then the king sent unto him a captain of 50 with his 50.
Right. So he sent in, 2 groups of 50, two
Yeah.
armies of 50.
Yeah,
each,
100
right?
men, yeah.
Yeah, 100 men. Go ahead.
And he went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of an hill.
Right.
And he spoke unto him, Thou man of God, the king hath said, Come down.
So his men are like, "Yo, come down from the hill. The king wants to speak to you." Meaning, you know, on some not nice. You
Yeah.
know, like, "Yo, the king want to holler at you," pretty much. Go ahead.
What verse was that?
Now he's on 10.
Okay.
It says, And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, If I be a man of the Most High, then let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50.
Boom. So he just called fire from heaven and just burnt them up, man. You know? Go ahead.
11th verse. Again, also he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50.
Right?
And he answered and said unto him, O man of the Most High, thus hath the king said, Come down quickly.
Right. So he sent another group. Right? Go ahead.
He said, 12, And Elijah answered and said unto them, If I be a man of the Most High, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And the fire of the Most High came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50.
So he did it again. He did it twice. He called fire from the heaven twice and burnt 2 groups of 50 or 2 groups of armies. Right? Go ahead.
13, And he sent again a captain of the third 50 with his 50.
Mm-hmm.
And the third captain of the 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Elijah and besought him and said unto him, O man of the Most High, I pray thee, let my life and the life of these 50 thy servants be precious in thy sight. Behold, there came fire down from heaven and burnt up 2 captains of the former 50s with their 50s. Therefore, let my life now be precious in thy sight.
So this dude was like, "You know what? I don't want no parts of this no more. This guy has power where I've never seen before. He done burnt two groups of armies, man." Right? Go ahead.
It says,
So he's basically asking for mercy, right? Go ahead.
15. And the angel of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi said unto Elijah, Go down with him. Be not afraid of him. And he arose and went down with him unto the king.
Right. So yeah, that was pretty much the point. So what the Most High is showing his power, man, through his prophet Elijah, and just imagine that a fire coming from the heavens, man.
Especially at that time.
Yeah, at that time, I don't know of another story of that happening. Just to see that, man. That's just what we're going into, the intensity and the power of the Most High, spiritual power that he's gonna befall or give the elect. Go ahead. Okay.
This is Revelations 11 and 4.
Mhm.
These, you want to break it down to? These are Revelation 11 and 4. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the power of the earth. The two olive trees and the 2 candlesticks represent the southern and northern tribe. It says, And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed.
You see? And you know what? Just on a small scale,
And that's
that is like 2 breakdowns.
yeah, true, yeah.
But on a small scale, we have a inkling of the spiritual power already, because these words are what?
Yes,
It's used as a weapon.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I forget that, but it's going to say it cuts asunder. Like
Yeah,
it's in
Hebrews 4:12. Yeah.
4:12.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right. You know? So hey, it's power. It's power. It's
Already.
power within this book, man.
Yeah.
It's power within this book, and we're given the power by the mercy and grace and the promise of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi.
Cool.
You know?
Let's
That's
move real quick.
Hebrews 4:12. You said. Let me
Yeah.
get that real quick.
Right.
It's Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. It says, "For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than the two-edged sword, piercing even to the piercing even to the dividing asunder of a soul and spirit, and of the joints and of marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart."
Right. So this is
It's
a couple, right? So
Yeah.
it's telling you use correctly, used by somebody skillful in this book, in the word, it can be used to do a lot of damage, man. You know, and it's worse than any bruise, any cut, any stab wound, any gunshot that you can do with a physical weapon. This weapon right here is way more powerful because you're able to discern. It says the intents of the heart or of the mind.
Let me read again for you.
Yeah, read
and there's
it.
another verse after. One
Right.
more. "For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than a two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit,
Right.
and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart."
Thoughts and intents of the heart, right? We don't.
Like your intentions too.
Yeah, your intentions,
You know, that's
yeah.
why we can read people. Well, the man Lord can read people.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. That's why important. You have to have the spirit of discernment to be a man of the Lord. You know, you got to know who's wicked. You know, and you can judge somebody right away. You know. Anyway, it says, "Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and opened unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do." Okay? So it shows you that when you get this word, your eyes are open. You know, you're able to see things that other people can't see. You know, spiritually. Okay?
No, finish 6 real quick. This is Revelation 11:6. It says, "These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy." And that's, thinking about it, it's going back to Elijah again, because Elijah shut up heaven. It says, "And have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will." And that's a form of miracles. You see, just like what from before. And this is what the men of the Lord are gonna do. And the whole world is gonna wonder after these men are doing this, man.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's speaking about having the spiritual power, man. And spiritual power is nothing more than controlling elements. And when that happens, right? That the minute that happens, that's when we're gonna have fear from everybody. You know, and they're gonna realize, they're gonna know that it's coming from the Heavenly Father, man. You know, it's coming from the Heavenly Father. So if you want to get, got some.
No.
I have, we can get some dead scriptures. There's Lazarus, but everybody knows Lazarus. There's other many ones. Like remember Cornelius, or a soldier, and actually had that was Peter. They healed his son, and he was back at the house. He just said it, and he was healed. I mean, we just bring up different ones. That you got something?
Yeah, I
like
got one. You can get Luke 7 and 11.
this?
Okay, get Luke 7.
Right. Yep. Right. This is a miracle that the Lord did when it was a woman's son at a funeral, and he raised her from the dead. Luke 7 and 11. Right.
Yeah, this is Luke 7 and 11. And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain.
Yeah.
And many of his disciples went with him, and much people. And when he came nigh to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow.
Yep.
And much people of the city was with her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Weep not. And he came and touched the bier.
Right.
And they that bare him stood still.
I believe. Let me look it up. If you want.
It says coffin.
Yeah. Okay. Coffin. Okay. I figured that. Go ahead.
And they that bare him.
So he touched the coffin. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. And it says, and they that bare him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say unto thee, arise. And
So this is a funeral. So he was, now back then they didn't waste any, they didn't like wait 6 days.
Yeah.
So he was dead probably I think he's supposed to do it before nightfall, so he's probably dead that day or early that day or whatever, right? I think it's within the law, 24 hours?
24 hours, yeah.
I believe. So he was dead within 24 hours, or you know,
Or
20 or 10 hours, whatever. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
And
So he was in his casket.
I think it's 24 hours, and then also the max is 3 days. We definitely can do the 3 days.
Yeah,
You're right. You gotta do it like
just
right
like
away.
You gotta do it right away.
Yeah.
But
it says, and he that was dead sat up and began to speak,
you see, go ahead.
and he delivered him to his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And there came a fear. Read that again. This is Luke 7:16.
And so imagine seeing
Yeah,
it. It's a funeral. You got the what do you call those? The people that carry the casket. They're
Pallbearers, the
pallbearers. They're carrying the casket. Yahawashi comes. He has compassion for the woman. He comes and reaches over and touches the casket and says, "Arise, young man, arise! I say unto thee, arise!" All of a sudden, casket opens. He pops out and starts speaking.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'll just say, that's what I was, because I thought, like I said, I thought about a brother, and that's actually what I imagined. Like in today's time, like if a brother would have passed, somebody had these thoughts, and I imagined a brother passing, and then I quickly said, we pray we can bring it back, and then we did the prayer, and then we woke up at the funeral, And I just imagine that in these times. And what do you think that the people in the audience, they're gonna do? What do you think they're gonna do? It's gonna be something like I said. We looked up wonder. It's gonna be something you never seen before. And again, we're reading the Lord did this. And many prophets did this, and this is why they believed in many other great miracles. But again, this is beyond physics. You can't explain that. There's no science that can explain waking up somebody from the dead. Period. These things will be done.
It says, yeah. It says Luke 7:16. It says, and there came a fear on all, and they glorified the Most High, saying that a great prophet is risen up among us. And that's exactly going back to Psalms 123. What's going to happen again, man? All right? Going back to Acts 1:8. Okay? The people, all right, are going to believe in the Most High. Just like the elder, when we started this video, he said a lot of the 1/3 are going to be delivered through the powers, okay, the miracles of the 144,000, the prophets, man. Okay, you read that again. It says, and there came a fear on all. See, fear to the people because they've never seen something like that. And they glorified the Most High, and that's the reason why the Lord is doing this, man, for His name's sake, man. You see, saying that a great prophet. This is what the people's gonna say now. This is going to say to the Apostle Hall, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Bakar, the elders, oh my God, these are the prophets of the Lord. Look, it says that a great prophet is risen up among us, and that the Most High has visited His people. And that's what's going to happen all over again, man. So it's supposed to be people not believing right now, man. You see? For the miracle's sake, that people are going to be, people in the 12th hour, Yahawashi said, at the 11th hour, people are going to be sealed, man. They're coming into the kingdom.
Yeah, the
coming into that dinner.
the believers. 1/3 the believers. That's how they're going to be brought in too by these miracles we're talking about in the spirit. That was it.
I think that was right.
Yeah, that was it.
I have another one. You get Matthew 9 and 18.
Gotcha. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 18, and it reads. It says, while he spake these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler, and worshipped him, saying, my daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live.
Yeah. So this was a ruler. Okay. He knew about the Lord's fame and His power, and he said, my daughter's dead. Can you put your hands on her, and she's gonna live? Because why? This man knew that. That this the Lord Yahawashi, the one Yahawashi was doing these great things. Okay, what's that say?
He said, come brother, I'm sick, but I believe. This is from Maya Yahawah.
Well, you were healed by the word, brother.
Wow.
I ain't trying to sound cute or pretty like a stupid preacher, but hey, man, the scriptures describe Israel as sick anyway. We're all sick. We're all sick, brother. But we're being healed by the word of the Heavenly Father. So we're all sick. Why? Because we don't have this name, we don't have our heritage, but we're being healed by the name of Yahawashi. Right now as we speak. This is one of the reasons why we do this. We're all sick. Just like it says in I believe first chapter of Isaiah. You know, sick. You know what I mean? Come on.
It says, and Yahawashi arose,
But you're not sick no more. You believe in the Lord. You got that faith. You hope. You know, because these bodies are shit. You know what I mean? You know, really sickness, true sickness is in the mind. And obviously, if your mind is not linked with Yahawashi, you're sick. If your mind's linked and you believe in Yahawashi, what he represents, who he is, and who he's for, you are whole. You know, you're not sick. Because these bodies ain't shit. We ain't gonna bring this. This ain't gonna be a kingdom. The Lord's gonna give us new bodies, perfect bodies, where you won't be sick anymore. You know.
and 19, and Yahawashi arose and followed him, and so did his disciples. And behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him, and touched the hem of his garment. For she said within herself, wow, this is heavy. For she said within herself, if I may but touch his garment, I shall be whole. Said, but Yahawashi turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole.
You know, I didn't know that was that one. I actually that's in Mark. I actually like the way Mark explains it better. I thought this was another one, but hey, that's a spirit, you know. It's just because I thought he was going to go see the daughter that was dead, but that's still, you know, that's still a good one. Matter of fact, let's go to Mark 5:30. Mark 5:30 real quick. I like this. There's a key word I like. It says virtue. Mark 5:30.
This is Mark.
You might have to start from actually start from 25.
Okay. This is Mark 5:25. And it reads, it says, and a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians. And
meaning that you know, this woman was bleeding for months. You know, had an issue of her issue, you know, menstrual issues, and was bleeding for 12 years. And she look at that number again, 12. Okay, so because the Lord already had it ordained that 12th year she was going to be healed. So that's spiritual in itself. All right. But again, it says, and it said she had suffered things of many physicians, meaning back then there were people that were trying to help her, certain physicians, which are ancient doctors, okay, because a true someone who's supposed to heal your body, they're called physicians, okay, they're called not doctors. And the doctors are really a bad term. A doctor really means to falsify, you know. So your doctors are really giving you fraudulent stuff, not to heal you, and they know that. But anyway, a true man who heals sickness, he's called a physician. It tells you that in the Apocrypha, if you know, if Lord willing, brothers want to get it or something, spirit of God. All right, but you go ahead.
It says, when she had heard, matter of fact, I'm going to start with the top.
Yeah.
It says, this is Mark 5:26. I'm sorry, 5:25. It says, and a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse.
Yeah, she spent all her money trying to fix this problem. You know, imagine bleeding for 12 years, you know, from when she got it as a young girl, a young child at 12, you know, and then all the way up to, what let's say she got at
24 now.
Yeah, 24, you know, her mid-20s, you know, okay? All those years spending all that money trying to solve this problem she had.
It says, and when she had heard of Yahawashi, came in the press behind and touched his garment. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole.
Yeah, so he said, well, I know about this man Yahawashi. He does great milk, because if I could just touch his clothes, I mean, this is just the thought process.
It's faith.
That's faith. That's why we're about to read on. So her thought was, if I can just touch him, if I could just touch not even him, his clothes.
Desperate.
If I could just touch the Lord's clothes, I will be healed. Okay? So, okay, go ahead.
It says, for she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up.
Straightway means right away, man. And that's the thing about these miracles, man. When you read the scriptures, the Old Testament, New Testament, they happen right away. They happened fast, you know.
And she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague.
So she felt it right away. She felt that she was good. She touched the garment, and she felt instantly it was gone.
And Yahawashi, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, "Who touched my clothes?"
Yeah, so that's the part I love. That part, verse 30. Just imagine Yahawashi walking in the crowd and the tumult and people touching him, touching him all over, and and all of a sudden, because everybody's touching him.
Yeah.
But how did Yahawashi, feel, know that this, but Yahawashi described it as a virtue, because virtue means what? A moral excellence. What's moral excellence? Well, the spirit from the Heavenly Father. The law, statutes, commandments, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Virtue is in entirety within this truth. So he felt the power leave him, a little bit of power. So again, it says immediately knowing in himself, right, that virtue had gone out of him, and he said, turned him about in the press, and said, "Who touched my clothes?"
And his disciples said unto him, "Thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest, Thou who touched me?"
Yeah. So his disciples turned and said, "Well, why are you going to say who touched you, Lord? You in a big crowd." It says thronging thee. If you look that up, it means a big crowd. You know how like celebrities go through a big crowd? You know what I mean? They all touching you. So that's a weird question. The disciples are confused. They're like, "Look, what do you mean who touched you? Everybody's touching you, Lord. Everybody's touching you." Okay?
And he looked round about to see her that had done this thing.
Yeah, so the Lord already knew. That's another great thing, man. Here it is, thousands of people surround you and touching you, right? And then you turn around and say, who touched me? The disciples look, Lord, everybody's touching you. But then he just looked at the woman. He already knew. He said, no. He looked at the woman. Okay? Where were
32, I'm about to go like 33.
Okay.
It says, "But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth."
Yeah, so the Lord asked a question. This woman didn't hesitate, because then she was feared. Because she said fear and trembling. So she was already healed instantly, right? Why? Because of her faith. And then when that happened, she completely ran to him and bowed down to the Lord and presented herself to him, and it told her everything. Told her about the 12 years of her bleeding. Told her about all the physicians and money that she spent to be healed, and nothing worked. And she was getting worse by the years. Okay? And this simple action of her just believing, the thought in her head, I just want to touch this man's clothes. Not even a conversation, not even can just let me touch him. You don't got to even talk to me. Just let me touch his clothes. I'll be healed. That's faith. And that's a woman too, man. Okay, where we at? 33?
34.
Okay.
And he said unto her, "Daughter, thy faith has made thee whole. Go in peace and be whole of thy plague."
Yeah, so the Lord said what? "Daughter, thy faith has made thee whole." And that's beautiful, man. He said, look, your faith has made you whole. It wasn't the Lord that said, look, all you got to do is just touch my clothes and you'll be healed. Nobody gave her that direction. Nobody told her what to do. She thought of that through the Spirit. Why? Because she had faith. She has faith. And again, there's people out there waiting for their day. Waiting for that day. All right, there's people out there right now, all right, in America and all over the world, who are waiting for the day to be healed by a man of the Lord. And we come into those times, man. Yahawah from the power of the Heavenly Father, through his son Yahawashi, he's going to show his power through his men, and the men are going to be doing these great miracles on earth very soon. Because this is all part of it. People thought that this is just storytelling, but you're going to see, the Lord's going to show his power, man, in many ways. And the effect of it is going to be intense. You won't be, people won't, there's no way to explain it, but that it is the Most High and the Lord. That was it for that one. So that was it. Unless we got other little miracles.
Yeah, you got it.
I got a couple pieces too, but it's like
Yeah.
I could bring out some
Like miracles. We don't focus on miracles.
All right. So First Corinthians 12 and 9. Matter of fact, I'm going to go with Luke 10 and 19.
You got any other ones?
I got
Which one?
somebody else from the dead.
Yeah, get that.
Okay.
When I get Luke at 8:49.
Okay. This is Luke 8:49, and it reads, it says, while he yet spoke, there cometh one from the ruler of the synagogue's house, saying to him, thy daughter is dead, trouble not the master. But when Yahawashi heard it, he answered him, saying, fear not, believe only, and she shall be made whole. And when he came into the house, he suffered no man to go in, save Peter and James and John,
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
and the father. That was right after the healing of the girl issue.
And what was it? Okay, all right, fine. Okay.
It says,
So wait a minute. That was when I told you before.
yeah, that's right after the girl was healed. And
Yeah.
then come down a little bit
We're
down.
reading Matthew, okay. So it's funny because it might have been he was on the way to heal her and then he's healing somebody else on the way over there.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's powerful, man.
And all
You know?
wept. Yes, like it.
Yeah.
Go back to 51. And when he came into the house, he suffered no man to go in, save Peter and James and John, and the father and the mother of the maiden.
Yeah, so it's just put Peter, James, and John, and then the father and the mother. So it's like what, 5 people together?
And 52. And all wept and bewailed her. But he said, weep not, she is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn, see, knowing that she was dead. And he,
Well, yeah, even that part, because like again, like Apostle Gabar says, through the Spirit, you gotta bring it, extrapolate, man. So again, imagine this, man. Going into a room is the Lord, Peter, James, and John, the father and the mother, and then of course the dead little girl, right? And then all of them wept, bewailing over, going crazy. You know what death is. You know how it feels. You have people that die in your family. You know, you have family, friends die in your family. Okay. And now, what verse we at?
52.
52. And then it says, well, yeah, 53. And they laughed in the scorn, knowing that she was dead. Okay. Again, and then what? Verse 54. Mm-hmm.
It says, and he put them all out and took her by the hand and called, saying, maid, arise.
Yeah, so you just put them all out because they were laughing in the first place. So you know what? You leave the room, all right? And then you see what happened. He said he took her by the hand and called her, saying, maid, arise. Mm-hmm.
And her spirit came again, and she arose straightway, and he commanded to give her meat.
Mm-hmm.
And her
Meaning something to eat. Mm-hmm.
And her parents were astonished, but he charged them that they should tell no man what was done.
And of course they did. And that's how the Lord's fame got spread. All these great miracles he did, his fame got spread all over the earth, you know. And they were astonished, astonished. Matter of fact, I'll go look up the word, and you guys bring up the word to you.
Yeah, real quick, I'm going to go to 9 real quick.
Right.
It says this, it says, then he called his 12 disciples, so right after that, it says, then he called his 12 disciples together and gave them power and authority over all devils and to cure diseases.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Oh, man.
And that's what the Lord's getting ready to do again, man. The Lord's going to ordain us. The Lord already has ordained us, man. But there's going to come a time when the Lord's going to give us that power. Now, we don't know the day nor the hour, right? But we know it's coming soon, man, that the Lord's going to give the men of the Lord power to cure people, his people, man, which is you so-called blacks, Hispanic Americans.
Got the proof right here. No, you're not.
Oh, and and the confusion of faces out there.
Just what line of what you just said. This is Matthew's 10:1. It says, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. You see, and that's what, like the brother was just going into, that's what the Lord Most High given us power for, to heal people who have the faith. Because the people who are going to heal, we're not going to heal people who don't have faith. It's really, like the scripture said, what the Lord said, he said that faith has made thee whole. It wasn't really, I mean, it is the Lord, but really it's your faith. Your faith has made thee. You believe in the Most High, and you believe I'm the Son of the Most High. That's you who did that, through your belief. If you don't believe, then how are you going to get healed? All right? So it's your belief in Yahawashi that is going to heal you. All right? Did Yahawashi really do anything? Technically, not really. It was her faith. It was the faith that really healed her. Because again, that was her thought. If I just touch his clothes, you know what I mean? She could have thought of anything. If I just sit at the table with him, who knows? So that's why faith is important, man. And again, this faith the great miracles are gonna befall on the people who believe. I'll read it one more time. Matthew.
Well, can I read this real quick, precept?
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick. This because you're talking about faith and the importance of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Hebrews 11 and 6. It says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." Isn't that what the lady did when she went and grabbed on Yahawashi's clothes, garment? She believed that if I diligently, that's what she did. She diligently sought out Yahawashi and to touch his garment to be healed, and it was all healed. That power of her being healed from an issue was all by faith. You know.
Come. I read it one more time. Matthew 10:1. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits, meaning demons and all that stuff, to cast them out, right? So you can have power to, like, just like when we had camp. We had many times at camp, right? Demon come around and we rebuke them in the name of the Heavenly Father, and then you scurry off. We've seen that. When we first joined the camp, we've seen that our elders do great things like that, man. Like Elder Zion. I'll just say Elder Zion, Elder Rakar, back in 08, first got in 09, when back in 34, the Lord showed us power through our elders, man. They used to cast out demons before our eyes, and I was sitting in the crowd like, oh wow, we don't really see it no more, but back in 34th, we see it all the time, casting out demons. Demons coming up, and they use the Lord's name and they flee. Okay, so that's the power the Lord gave his men. And it said unclean spirits to cast them out, and it said and to heal all manner of sickness. All sicknesses, man. That means all sicknesses. Just like that man who had to be carried to the temple every day, right, to ask for alms in Acts the 4th chapter, right? He was crippled from birth. He didn't take a step his whole life. All right, so those miracles heal all manner of things. Well, no matter what sickness you have, it don't matter, man. You have a AIDS times 10, Ebola virus. I don't know. Anything else?
Anything. I mean, hell, if you can heal death,
Yeah. What can't you heal?
What can you heal?
That's a lot. That's very proverb. That's what the elders state. State stuff as quickly as proverb, as pithy as possible. So if you can heal death, what else? What can't you heal? All right. So it says, and to heal all manner of sicknesses and all manner of disease. Okay, so that's anything you can imagine. The men of the Lord will be healing these people, man. And guess what? Why they being healed? Because they believe in the first place. All right, brother just brought it out. Elder just brought it out in the scripture. Which was that?
Faith. Hebrews 11 and 6.
Hebrews 11 and 6.
The whole chapter talks about faith. From all the prophets from way back, And that's a good. It actually defines faith. Hebrews 11 and 1.
Yeah, that's
faith is a thing of substance of things not hoped for, things not seen.
Any other miracles I'll bring up? You said you had something? Yeah, maybe like three more miracles. Then we'll finish up.
Yeah. This is Luke 10:19. I don't know if brother brought this out. But it says, behold, I give you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And this is the time that we're coming into, man, because the Lord already gave us this power already, man. Because why? Because the Lord spoke it. Because He is the Word. So anything the Lord speaks already happened. All right. He gave His disciples that were what? That were doing His work. This power already, man.
Where you at?
This is Luke 10:19.
Okay, let's read that again.
Yeah, it says, behold, I give unto you up. Sorry, let me do that again. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you.
Yeah, and that's talking about the day when, that's the other side where the Lord's going to give us power to tread upon the people that's going to try to take us down, or take the men of the Lord down, so to speak. All right, we are the hopeful elect, doing what we do so we can be one of those men, Lord willing. Okay, that's what we do now. Why like Scripture, we persuade men because we fear the Most High. I'm not saying verbatim, but But yeah, we're doing this so we can have that day to fight with the Lord, to tread upon the enemies of the Most High, to tread upon the people that scoff against the Most High and His truth. Okay, they made mockery. All right.
It says, notwithstanding in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. And a lot of going back into also too, there's a lot of people that got demons on them, man, legions. Because also Yahawashi healed people that had demons on them, man. All right. Your perfect example is the one Jake that had legions on him, man, to the point where they had chains and he was cutting himself and everything else. There's a lot of people walking around here that has demons on him, man. Okay, and that's gonna happen too. We're gonna have power over the serpents, over the left hand spirits and the right hand spirits, man. That was it, bro.
You got another one?
I got.
Maybe like the Lord, or whatever you want to get in.
Okay.
The strong miracle.
Okay, so the miracle. Okay. Matthew 4:24.
Well, whatever you want to bring in.
Okay. This is Matthew 4. I don't know if you brought this. Oh, yeah. Matthew 4:20. Matter of fact, 23. It says, and Yahawashi went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness. Oh, you read this already, man?
No.
Which one was that?
Matthew 4:23.
No, I didn't read it.
Okay. And Yahawashi went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of diseases among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and torments, talking about these demons, and those which are, torments talking about physical harm that you have, like, like let's say you can't walk or you have some type of problem, like
Physical illness.
yeah, all types of. And it says, and those which were possessed with devils, which is demons, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he had healed them. So the Lord didn't make.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, palsy is like something dealing with your nerves. Like cerebral palsy, like one side of your face is slanted, and it deals with like your right and left hemisphere. Palsy deals with like your face slanting and all that kind of stuff. Cerebral palsy, I believe it's called, right? Deals with like nerves, nerve damage. Okay, nerve stuff.
Right. So the reason why I brought this scripture is because this is the Lord Yahawashi, our Lord Yahawashi did these things, man. And Yahawashi said that we're gonna do greater works than He does, man. You see? Let me read this one again. It says, and Yahawashi went about all Galilee, man. You see that? Teaching in their synagogues, what the men of the Lord do. That's what we're doing. We're teaching on the houses of bowers, our apostles, our elders, upon and all the men upon the four corners of the earth. It says the gospel of the kingdom, and that's what we're doing. But there's another part that's going to take place. And healing all manner of sickness. Now these things this is going to take place next through the Spirit. The elder talked about it. All right, that's what we're doing this video. And the apostles have always been talking about this, man. And other men of the Lord upon the four corners of the earth been talking about this. That there's going to come a time where we're going to be healing the people, man. Healing our people. And that's how, going back to the name of this video, okay, that's how the 1/3 is going to be sealed, man. A lot of the 1/3 are going to come in and be sealed through the miracles of the prophets.
And by way of their faith, because they believe, they believe anyway. Or they're going to believe. All right? That was a
I guess I get the one famous world, one of the famous miracles done by the Lord.
Yeah.
So I'll start. This is Matthew 14:22. It says, and straightway Yahawashi constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him onto the other side. Right? It says, verse 23, and when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray, and when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. In the fourth watch of the night, Yahawashi went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit. and they cry out with fear. So just imagine, it's
Yeah.
dark. They see something. It was like, what the hell is that? They see something walking on the sea.
Yeah.
They're like, oh shit.
And imagine, like I said, they were in the middle of the ocean by now.
Yeah.
Or they were like far deep in the how to describe it? How to describe it? It said
In the midst of the sea.
the midst of the sea. So
Yeah.
they're not like to the next in the
On the
shore.
shore, yeah.
They're like maybe I don't know, a mile or two out, or maybe a mile out or something.
Yep.
Like that. They're in the midst of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's no way, because remember, Yahawashi went up to the mountain and meditated, and they were in the distance now.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahawashi, how did he catch up with him? There's no motorboat back then.
Right.
Okay, how did he get there? So, of course, you're gonna think,
Parachute.
yeah, you're gonna what the hell you're gonna think that's some kind of apparition, some demon or something like that on there. But again,
It says in verse 25, and in the fourth watch of the night, Yahawashi went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit. And they cried out with fear. But straightway Yahawashi spoke unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water.
yeah. So this is beautiful because again, this is one like the elder just mentioned, talking about the great, the great famous one by walking on water. I mean, even hearing that as a child, when you hear about that as a child, that's like Superman, like a superhero. You're thinking about a man with great power. Like, whoa, that's what actually draws you people to the Bible because of these miracles, man.
Yeah.
But you don't really believe. You believe in this white image of what people call, Jesus Christ. You have that church image, but the truth is, the Lord is the so-called black man with white woolly hair, and is the living son of the living power, the Most High Yahawah, all right, given onto the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, right, and this visual. Peter, the disciples saw him literally walking on water at night. Okay? Have you been on a boat at night? Have you been on a boat during the day? You see how scary it seems when you look into the ocean? How deep? This is at night. Back in the ancient world with no light. In the midst of the sea. The Lord was in the midst of the sea walking on water to the boat. I mean, you have to imagine that, that's intense. And again, this is the same. It's gonna come in the same fashion in these times, man. And you motherfuckers, you ain't got nothing to say. You non-believers, but the believers, they're gonna believe. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. But that's power right there, and that's an intense miracle. That's not even average. And again, walking on water. Who can do that now? Nobody can do that. It's impossible, right?
Oh well, slack it. I've seen these demonic
Well,
magicians. do
they're
that shit.
demonic magicians, but they do tricks. They have a
Walk
piece
on
of
water?
glass.
Don't walk on water.
No, I've seen where they do it. And they
No,
have all-
but they have tricks. They have this thing where the guy put like a see-through walkway. It's glass, and they put it on top of the water, but you can't tell. Then you walk on the water. That's a
Somebody's
magician
walking
trick.
on water, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have some demon crap where they have
might
some
be able to
images,
levitate,
levitate some shit. But
Maybe
They turn
tricks,
water.
man.
They turn water to wine. I've seen that one too.
yeah, whatever, man.
Brother TV. Oh, on TV.
I mean,
Come on, man.
it was miracle. I'll show
Yeah,
it to you.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
whatever, man. It's just,
verse 29, it says, and he said, Come, and I'll read 28 again. It says, and Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down on the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahawashi. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Yahawashi stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, If, O thou of little faith.
I'm sorry too. I just realized, right, because we were talking about you saw someone walking on water. But
Yeah.
remember, the verse 24 says, but the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. So not no stunt where somebody puts a see-through glass and you're walking on it, or maybe whatever you saw some low-level demon doing, taking them 3 hours to get up 1 inch from the ground, or whatever they're doing. The Lord was walking on water with the contrary winds, like a damn near mini storm, with waves and all that. He was walking on, this wasn't a calm sea. It was basically a little storm. Okay, that's even more amazing, man.
It says, And immediately Yahawashi stretched forth his hand and
What
caught him.
verse you
I'm
at?
at 31 actually. It says, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And it's showing you how strong faith is, because it was through his faith that he was able to do that miracle. He was able to do that that spiritual power. You know, it says, wherefore didst thou doubt? He was like, so when did you lose faith, or when did you start doubting or unbelieving? Right? Because faith is just basically the definition of faith is a belief. You know. So it says, and when they were come up unto the ship, the wind ceased. So when they came in the ship, that's when the seas calmed down.
Yeah.
It says, then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, O of truth art thou the Son of the Most High. So it's even showing you here that when the power is shown, then that's when people are starting to believe. It's the same thing what's going to happen now. Once the elect men of Yahawashi start doing that power that he said that he would give his men, right? Then that's when a lot of people are going to believe. Hell, that's when a lot of the 1/3 are going to be awakened.
Yeah, they're going to be awakened, yeah.
Because they're going to see the men of the Lord doing those prophecies. It's no different from back then. When the prophets did their miracles, that's when the people believe, like, oh, that's he's a man of the Most High.
Yeah.
He's a man of Yahawashi.
Yeah.
That's when they believe.
Yeah.
Same thing now.
Yeah.
You know. All right, so that's pretty much
I mean,
this.
we probably just ended on that. The scripture to end on. You had anything? Or
No, that's it.
Okay. Done. So,
So hey man, the spiritual power, you see, the spiritual power is coming soon, man. The spiritual power is coming soon. Why? We believe it because the Most High said that he was going to give it to us. Okay, Yahawashi told us, look, the works that I do, ye shall do, and ye shall do greater. So we're going to be doing a lot of spiritual power. I know, a lot of scoffers say, "Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys think you're X-Men. These guys mutant powers. All right,
X-Men.
You can laugh now.
Yeah, laugh now. That's
Scriptures
right.
say, "Laugh now, but ye shall mourn and weep." Okay.
I got something for you.
Right.
Because you said we're nearer to these times, right?
Right.
This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed.
Right. So our salvation, right, the deliverance is coming soon, and it's why. And how do we know that? We know that by the prophecies that are unfolding on a daily, man.
Yeah.
You had
What's going on Iran?
Right, the thing going on with Iran, the thing going on with it was an earthquake in China yesterday. It was an earthquake in California. On the same day, earthquakes in diverse places, wars or movements of wars.
Oh, I just saw something on Fox
a
day ago. What's that dude we were just talking about? That white dude, the white dude on that Edomite on Fox News, who he has his own little talk show, but he actually came to the camp too and acted like
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Yeah, Tucker Carlson. I just saw it on my phone today, but it was from yesterday, and it was titled "We were seconds away from going to World War III," or we were seconds away it said we were seconds away from going to war with Iran.
No, you know what he thought about when he said that. He was like, oh shit, those fucking crazy guys. You know that I probably was sent to. I don't know if he was sent or whatever. But he's like, yo, those guys in that corner, they did mention World War III. Because Tucker Carlson, you can Google him. The brothers watching. He came down and saw the apostles.
And they tried to act like he didn't know what, he tried to act like he knew what's going on.
Right, and Apostle Dar, he called him out. He was like, hey man, aren't you on TV or something? Aren't you like a newscaster? He was like, no. No. Tucker Carlson, a motherfucker that talks a lot of shit.
All shit, yeah.
On his channel.
Hell yeah.
When he came in front of
he shut his mouth.
In front of the apostles, he was quiet, man.
Hell yeah, he didn't say a goddamn thing. And this guy, he don't lose arguments on his own show.
He said, GMS street disciple, he came to the camp like a serpent.
That's right.
He was a goddamn serpent, man.
That's right. Hey, shalawam, brother.
GMS street disciple. Yeah.
That's I think that's
Oh, word?
Oh, is it?
Oh, I'm Walla?
Hey, man, shalom.
What's up, Mike?
My man. Okay.
That's the warrior.
Yeah, bro.
I'm the Walla.
Oh, this brother said, he said, LOL, I saw it too.
Oh, yeah. That's I'm the Walla, right?
No, this is Karamaya Yasha Allah 44.
Okay, Khan. Hey, shalawam, Mike.
LOL, I saw it too.
Yeah.
So Tucker Carlson, came through like a damn
like
serpent,
a damn serpent, man.
you know.
But hey, man, this is beautiful, man. You know, you see these prophecies coming through, man. So hey, man, we stay strong. You know, hey, man, the Lord's with us. We're going through our fucking bullshit. You know, we went through that dumb shit earlier today, and but hey, man, the Lord's with us. You know, just keep doing what you got to do, and you got nothing to worry about. Like it says in the last chapter of Ecclesiastes 12 and the last chapter, I think 13 or something like that. You know. So again, like just reviewing what the elders saying, what we're saying through the Spirit is that these great miracles are coming soon, man. You see, because why? Number one, Apostle Tar, from the Spirit of Yahawashi said, no more new members in the camp, right? We're not in 34th no more. So the famine of the word already started over a year ago, but it's just levels to the famine of the word. You see what's going on with the internet, net neutrality, and shutting down. They come up with new excuses to shut down the internet. Now you have to have 1,000 subscribers to live stream. Now you can't do hate speech. Now, so they're just making up shit.
They took away Google Plus. That was my.
For real?
Yeah, this brother said, GMS Secret Disciple, he said, I'm not who you mentioned, but shalawam anyway. Okay, shalawam anyway.
Yeah, I'm on the street search, GMS street search.
What's up, Ak? Yeah, we'll close it up. So, hey, with that, the great miracles, Yahawashi is coming soon for the people that believe and for the scoffers talking shit. So we'd like to say all praise to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, double honors to the apostles of GMS, double honors to Connecticut elders of GMS, and shalom to the fellow warriors preaching the word in the name of Yahawashi Mashai.
Shalom to the comment boards.
Shalom brothers on the comment board.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Oh.